everybody, welcome back to our documentary Fast Life. And if you realize at this moment we are doing it in English now. Because Alexandra is from Bulgaria, she's speaking only English. And I think everybody of our followers or viewers will understand English as well. So we do it in English, and it's part 2 of our documentary, and now we are at Hockenheim for the first race, Porsche Sportscup Germany. Hockenheim is one of the oldest tracks, I would say, in Germany. It's also for Porsche a very important track because of Porsche Experience Center. Porsche Stuttgart Zuffenhausen, just 1.5 hour drive. So basically the Porsche home track, more or less.
I'm really excited to finally be here for the first race of the season, to be able to drive this car. And being in the talent pool for this season. Hockenheim is still my favorite track. I have so many kilometers here that it just comes natural for me. So high expectations, let's say, for this season. And of course, I have to enjoy it. On Thursday, we had our first kickoff event for the talent pool. Hi. Hi. Alexandra, nice to meet you. We went through different presentations about, let's say, the history of Porsche, what they're expecting from us. Then we went through our contract also. So really interesting things that I'm seeing and hearing for the first time.
The Porsche Sports Cup usually starts with test sessions on Fridays. Normally we use the Friday to get the setup work done, tire pressures, everything like that. It was pretty challenging because the morning we had a wet track. The worst condition you can have. So it took a time to get used to the track, to the conditions, and in the afternoon it was dry. Again, we started from nearly zero to get all the setup work done.
This weekend, I'm trying to take things step by step, not look at the bigger picture, and be confident in the car and just learn throughout the whole weekend.
And then we started into the Saturday with not that much data like we are used to have it.
Saturday, race day, I arrived at the track. We had free practice. The car was feeling great. I was feeling good. Then we had qualifying. That's where it went tricky.
You must know that in qualifying, you only want to do maybe 5 or 6 laps. The tire works the best in the first 5 laps, so you need 2 laps to get it in his temperature, and then you have the peak, the tire works best, and then your lap times are decreasing again, and then you finish your qualifying. In that special case today with Alexandra, it was like she really started pushing after lap 4 or 5. And we saw on the Laptime screen, or our engineer saw, that she's improving and improving. So we kept her running until the end, and her fastest lap was her last lap. She needs to find the trust in the car and everything, and this takes a while. But that's part of the project. And I think we made a good start here at Hockenheim. In the afternoon, it was finally time to race again in Germany. Porsche Sportscup race 1.
I started from 18th place. I was feeling a little bit stressed for sure. It's always the same case when you're waiting for these 30 minutes before the actual race starts. I make up different scenarios, every good and bad scenario, but I try not to overthink anything. When you're on the grid waiting for the lights to go green, there's so much adrenaline.
The race itself, it was really exciting, and she tried to push from the first lap. Maybe she was driving a little bit too hard in the first 2 laps. Her tire pressure went up very, very quickly. And she got some understeer in the car. And she was struggling over the whole race with the understeer. It's a big field, it's very competitive. And she was really fighting, she had some really good battles.
Throughout the whole stint, I was struggling with the car. Then I lost the other cars in front of me, so I had to catch up, and mentally also it was challenging, knowing that everyone in front of you is in this exact moment faster than you because of their setup or tires, for example. So I would say that for sure this race was tough. So at the end of the race, when the checkered flag came in, I think I finished 19th overall and maybe 15th in our class.
Good first race. I think not what she expected, but that's something we work on over the whole season, because the project is like working the whole season to build up a good racing driver.
But I'll come back stronger for sure tomorrow. I'm way more confident now. Sunday. After the tough Saturday that we had, we went into qualifying kind of positive.
So Pavel, Alexandra driving endurance together. Pavel started with the qualifying endurance. A long time it was around P2, P3, and in the end it was okay because it was P4 in the end for the endurance overall. Great job, perfect job of Pavel. Then Alexandra went into the car. We know that yesterday she was a bit struggling with the car, with herself, everything. But from pit exit, Through the whole qualifying, she was just there.
I was feeling really good in the car in qualifying. The car felt really balanced, so I was really pushing this time. And I felt really confident in the car. So I actually did my fastest lap for the weekend, which I was pretty happy about.
She did her fastest laps of the whole weekend. She was so confident. It was amazing to see. So we all thought that will be a great day.
It was time for my second race. I told myself that I don't have anything to lose.
In the grid and pre-grid, and I talked to her, I just felt that she is really there. She's not like the day before. She changed completely, the mindset, everything. She really wanted to show what she's capable of. Aggressive from the beginning this time. I gained a lot of places. I think probably 3 or 4 places in the first lap. I think 2 or 3 laps she was already P12 and then P10, and it was just great to see how good she was performing. And then we had a safety car.
The race went perfectly. It was really smooth until after the safety car restart. I saw an opportunity to overtake, and I took it. I took the risk. I hit the car ahead of me.
So she tried to gain a position into turn 2. She was braking very hard. She outbraked the other driver, but unfortunately she went to the right-hand side, because it's a right-hand corner, so you go to the inside to overtake. And the grip was just not there. It was not like the laps before. The grip was not there, maybe some dirt on track, maybe some bit colder tires, and she couldn't avoid an accident with another driver, which is really sad for the other driver as well. So the radiator was broken and the race was done on P10, fighting for P9. That was the saddest moment for the whole weekend, I think. Yeah.
It was a really challenging moment for sure after all the struggles we had during this weekend, but I know what I have to work on mentally and physically, and so I'll come back even stronger.
So I went straight to the stewards just to check and clarify that we can get the car without parc fermé, because we have to drive endurance race later, so we need all the time to repair it. Because at that moment, nobody knew how big the damage really was. So I went there, talked to the technical scrutineers, to race control, and they said, okay, it's all fine when the car is here. Take it to your pit box and start repairing immediately. The team did everything to get the car back on track just in time for the endurance race, and they did a flawless job. Everything was on point. We were ready, I think, 1 hour before the endurance race, so they had plenty of time to train their pit stop or the driver change. So it was from that moment on, it looked perfect again. So yeah, and then we started the endurance race. So the format for endurance is a 60 minutes race, 2 drivers, driver change, so you have to manage the tires. I don't think it will start to rain in the next 10 minutes. You just need them when it starts to rain now, but it's dry at the moment.
Here would start with slicks.
Don't worry about it, you just go right now.
Unfortunately, on the start of the race, I wasn't in the right gear, and so I didn't have the momentum to go flat faster than the other cars in front of me.
The start of the endurance, Alexandra was a bit defensive maybe because of the accident in the race before. She tried to stick to her position. She went into the pits around P10 or P9.
We just decided to box right after the pit window opened. And so my teammate went into the car and he was flying on track.
Pavel did one quali lap after the other. So he gained places and places and places. He had some really tough battles with other pro drivers like Marc Basseng. And yeah, then he went up to P2 in class, P3 overall, I think.
After all the bad luck this weekend, we managed to go on the podium from our class, of course. And we finished P2, which was a great achievement for this weekend. And yeah, we managed to win our P2 trophy. We're looking forward to the next endurance race for sure.
After this messy weekend, in the end it was all fine again.